Hey, and welcome back to yet another UFC video. In this video, I will match up 5 super fights I would like to see that are also really possible to make either right now or in the next year. Starting off with the first fight, I would like to see Dustin versus Volk. You cannot tell me this ain't a banger of a fight. I know Volk wants to fight for the title again, and will most likely do that by either waiting or fighting Lopez. Dustin is also 1 or 2 fights away from retiring, so Dustin against Justin is probably more likely to happen. And I would also love that fight, so they could finally settle who the better fighter out of them is, although I think Dustin is pretty clear, and that's why I would rather see him against Volk, and I would also have him winning that fight. For the second fight I have matched up, Charles versus Max. Now with Max recently moved up in weight class, I believe this fight makes a lot of sense. Max also did beat Justin in a dominant way. I know Charles just beat Chandler, and a lot of people think he deserves a title shot after Arman, but in my opinion Charles should get another win before fighting for the title again since he has lost to both Islam and Arman. I don't see a valid reason for him to just fight for the title right now. In my opinion it would be great for him to fight Max because he would avenge his loss and also would be a great win to have on your resume. My pick for this fight would actually be Charles. There are a few people that I think would beat Max in lightweight, and Charles is 100% one of them. I think his grappling and also wrestling would be too much for Max to handle. Max is more used to fight strikers in recent time. I know Ilia just beat him, who ain't really considered a striker, but his boxing is one of the best right now in the sport. I could see Charles get a decision win by taking Max down and getting a lot of control time, maybe even a finish. Moving on to the third fight, where I have Khamzat versus Alex Pereira. This fight could happen since Khamzat has been open to fight Alex for his title. The only problem is that I don't think Alex will be champion before Khamzat has the chance to move up to fight him. The reason for that is because I think Ankalaev will beat Alex if they fight next, which should be the next fight to make in the light heavyweight division. Khamzat is also set to fight Drakus for the title, where I see him winning easily. So this fight is pretty hard to make right now, but who knows, maybe there is a possible way to make this in the future for a big money fight. Maybe Alex goes out there and beats Ankalaev, which would make this fight really possible. Nonetheless, this would be a very exciting fight since it's the perfect grappler versus striker matchup. My pick would be Khamzat, since I believe he is the best wrestler in UFC, and could take down and control every fighter on the roster in every division there is that he could potentially fight in. I don't see him either losing, and will most likely retire undefeated. Even though I like Alex a lot, I just can't see him winning this fight. He would need a very quick knockout, which I don't think is possible since he will be getting taken down as soon the fight starts. Would still be a banger regardless, since it's 2 big names who looks unstoppable. Now for the fourth fight, I have none other than Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, arguably the biggest fight the UFC could make right now. We all know by now that Jones is ducking Tom as much as he can. He is literally saying that he wants to fight Alex, or he retires, which is very weird, since he has now ducked both Francis and Tom, 2 fighters that are well-rounded, dangerous power, tall and big. These are the only 2 fighters that would absolutely win against Jon, and Jon knows this. Otherwise he wouldn't duck them this hard. Jones struggles against tall and big guys with good striking and takedown defense. 2 examples are Alex, Gus, and Reyes, who he lost to. But now imagine Tom, who is much better than those 2, and also has way more power, and is the most explosive heavyweight in the UFC. Not only that, Tom is very good on the ground as well. Jones has never fought anyone this dangerous and well-rounded. Jones' only way I can see him winning by is via submission. Even that I can't see happening that much. My pick would be Tom by knockout, and I'm very confident. I would say Tom has a 70% chance of winning this fight. And now for the final fight, I have Islam versus Ilia. Probably the fight that I'm most excited about out of all these fights. Ilia has already gone back and forth with Islam and his team on social media, which automatically means there is some tension. Also, it's Dagestan versus Georgia, the perfect Kavkaz fight. Them are on a crazy winning streak. Not only that, both of them are on a crazy winning streak, and are the best fighters in the UFC. In my opinion, Islam should be number pound for pound, and Ilia should be number 2. If Islam adds Ilia to his resume, he could go out there and become the GOAT of the sport. Same goes for Ilia, although he'd probably need a little more than that since Islam has beaten more top guys, has a better resume, and also more title defenses. Regardless of that, this fight would be huge and very competitive. This is the only fight I can where it would become personal for Islam, since Ilia would probably trash talk a lot leading up to the fight. He has already started beef with Islam's team. The press conference would be very interesting as well. I know Islam needs to beat Arman, and also has been thinking about moving up, but in my opinion he should fight Ilia after he beats Arman, and then move up. Same goes for Ilia. He should probably fight Volk or Lopez, and then fight Islam. This fight could be bigger than Jones versus Aspinall, although more people want to see Tom sleep Jones. But my pick for this fight would be the number 1 pound for pound Islam. I think he will be stronger in there since he is bigger, and also is a bit more skilled all around. His grappling and wrestling would be the key to winning this fight. I know Ilia is originally a grappler himself, but I haven't seen his high-level grappling skills compared to Islam, so it will be very interesting to see how Ilia would do against a high-level grappler and wrestler like Islam. That's why it would be good Ilia to test himself against a guy like Movsar. Ilia's only way of winning this fight would be by knockout, otherwise I see him losing in a decision or getting subbed. Nonetheless, comment what you think of these matchups, and which fight you would want to see the most. See you in the next one.